It was preparation day for Passover, and it was about noon. And he said to the Jews,
"Behold your king."
They cried out,
Take him away! Take him away! Crucify him!
Pilate said to them,
"Shall I crucify your king?"
The chief priests answered.
We have no king but Caesar.
Then he handed him over to them to be crucified. So they took Jesus, and carrying the cross himself, he went out to what is called the place of the skull, in Hebrew, Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on either side, with Jesus in the middle. Pilate also had an inscription written and put on the cross. It read, Jesus the Nazarene, the King of the Jews. Now, many of the Jews read this inscription because the place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and it was written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. So the chief priests of the Jews said to Pilate,
Do not write the King of the Jews, but that he said, I am the King of the Jews.
Pilate answered,
What I have written, I have written.
When the soldiers had crucified Jesus, they took his clothes and divided them into 4 shares, a share for each soldier. They also took his tunic, but the tunic was seamless, woven in one piece from the top down. So they said to one another,
Let's not tear it, but cast lots for it to see whose it will be.
in order that the passage of Scripture might be fulfilled that says, They divided my garments among them, and for my vesture they cast lots. This is what the soldiers did. Standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, and Mary of Magdala. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple there whom he loved, he said to his mother,
Woman, behold your son.
Then he said to the disciple,
Behold your mother.
and from that hour the disciple took her into his home. After this, aware that everything was now finished, in order that the Scripture might be fulfilled, Jesus said,
I thirst.
There was a vessel filled with common wine, so they put a sponge soaked in wine on a sprig of hyssop and put it up to his mouth. When Jesus had taken the wine, he said,
It is finished.
And bowing his head, he handed over the Spirit.
The cross is the hope of Christianity, and this is so because it reminds the world of the sacrificial love of Christ, which he expressed to humankind through his passion and death. The cross brings to memory the sacrificial love of the one who hangs there. It is a clear proof of his love that he laid down his life for us and challenges us to do the same for our brothers and sisters. The vertical points signify the height and depth of his love. The horizontal points expressing the width and breadth of that love. Their interpretation is closely connected to Paul's words that prayed for the Ephesians to have the strength to grasp the breadth, length, height, and depth of His love.
Suffering and pain can bring about unimaginable blessings. It is within this context that we can understand why the tree of death has turned into a life-giving tree. In the very beginning, a tree brought about the fall of Adam. A tree has brought about the glory of the new Adam, namely Christ. This is so because by His cross He has redeemed the world.
Today is a day to pause and think of the meaning of the passion and death of Jesus Christ. It is also a time to reflect on how His wounds bring healing to many and how His death offers a ticket of salvation to everyone. The hope of resurrection gives meaning to the passion and death, which is commemorated today. The cross is salvation for humankind.